Mayor Judd, now we get the tall guys up here, so. Well, good morning. Thank you to everybody who's made this possible, but Craig has me on a short time frame, so I'm going to have to talk fast. First of all, a lot of things have been going on in our community, and I had the pleasure, as being mayor, be invited by the U.S. Navy SEALs to do a tandem jump. I think it's coming up. Now, the city looks totally different. Coming up sometime. When you jump out of a perfectly safe airplane at 14,000 feet. And, Craig, I don't get charged for this, do I? Okay. I had a great view of the city of Fargo from this vantage point, but I pretty much realized that I'd better stick with my job as mayor. You don't look too good doing 100 miles an hour, and I really didn't look like Tom Cruise. This year we've had some good stuff go on. We got the Fargo City Hall done. It's a 150,000 square foot facility. It houses 215 employees on site. It's flood-proof. It opened in September of 2018. It's innovative, efficient, future-focused, and truly a game changer for our city. But that's not all we've done. Fargo Water Treatment Plant. The citizens of this community voted a tax in 2006 that worked on our utilities. And with that tax, we did a long-term plan for what we would do with our water. So we had a $110 million construction project. It's taken 3.5 years to finish, and it treats the Metro water. Had we not been forethought in what we were going to do, we wouldn't have been able to add on West Fargo for our water at this time. So we've increased our capacity from 30 to 45 million gallons a day. That's fantastic. Other thing that happened is Chief Todd came up to me and said, I need some new police headquarters, and we had an operation or a realty area that we could go into. There's an existing building that we could repurpose. And we saved money and are efficient. The facility is near a central garage. It allows for yearly maintenance and more efficient work with our cars. All the cars are indoors, so our policemen do not have to hop in a cold car, and their computers stay nice and warm and are ready to go the minute they get in their cars. We have a total of 212 employees working at this facility, and our final move will be this year to move them all into that facility. The other thing we have that none of the other cities have is the bison. 7-time national champion. Now, the Frisco mayor told me to keep coming back because you're worth $9 million to our community. We're going to get into flood protection because in flood protection, we all worry about when are we going to have this thing come forward. And I want to express gratitude to the Mayor of Moorhead, Delray Williams, for her help on this project. But we've got a DNR permit. Fantastic. The task force was formed by the governors Burgum and Dayton, and we had members upstream, downstream to be on this. The Minnesota DNRs worked with us on this as well as the citizens Fargo and Cass County for a sales tax vote that the chamber helped us out with. Where else would you have a community vote for a 50-year tax? Unbelievable. People I want to help now is we need to work with our legislator and Doug Burgum to get the money funding that we need for this project. If you delay a project at any time, what will happen? The cost will go up. Just in the delay of the 2 years, the cost went up $150 million. What we've argued with the Corps is let's build this in 6.5 years, and you have tremendous cost savings in that. We have a new cost share with them. I think we have that up here. And it's going to be $300 million for the state legislator, $300 million from the state or the federal partners, and $86 million from the Minnesota side. If everybody puts in, we'll have this fully funded. We will not have to do any tax assessments. Now, the other thing that's happened within the community, we've done 20 miles of flood protection since 2009. We're not fully safe without the diversion. We still have to do 100 million sandbags if we got into a flood at this time, and we still have 20 miles of areas that we would have to do something to protect our city. With the diversion, the thing people keep quietly forgetting is we have flood insurance. We have $50 to $60 million worth of flood insurance in this community, and the diversion is the only thing that will get rid of that. Now, responding to growth. When we all talk about growth and what's happening, we're on the radar. People around the country are watching the city of Fargo and this community as well. In 2017, Bloomberg identified Fargo as a diversified engine of regional growth. Also, we are denoted as the fastest growing Midwest community from 2010 to 2017. I'd like you to think about that for a moment. In this metro area, we have 235,000 people. We are projected to go up to 330,000 people in the next 20 years. That means 5,000 people every year are going to move into this community. In order to do that, we have to continue to do things that make things go well within our economics. I'd like to get into the building permits. So we've issued $4.4 billion in construction permits in the last 10 years. And you can see on the slide there's a spike, and that's when Sanford built their building. But we used to run around 200 million permits a year. We are now going to go about $500 million a year in construction permits. Thanks for Block 9, we pushed over 500 this year. Second thing that's happened in this community, social services. We did organize the Mayor's Blue Ribbon Panel on addiction. All the mayors helped out in this. We're proud to announce that we have a 50% decrease in prescription for opioids. Our two largest medical providers, Essentia and Sanford, have worked very hard to have people quit writing so much for opioids. We decreased our deaths in opioids as well, and we have about 15 different initiatives that we've done because of this. Commissioner John Strand went out to the National League of Cities this year and talked about our social efforts. One of the things we changed is mobile outreach program. So if somebody's having a problem and needs to ride to a detox center, is having difficulties with their life, having some issues, we send out this mobile group to give them assistance. What that helps us is decrease the amount of police, fire, and EMS that we have to send out, and allows them to go out to other areas and do that. And Commissioner Strand did a great job in this presentation. Telling our story. This is a question about where are we going to go, and the two other mayors have already talked about that. We've heard of successes in Fort Collins, and thanks to the Bison, we've seen a phenomenal growth in Frisco. But you know what? When we combine the efforts of Fargo, West Fargo, Moorhead, Dilworth, the people, the businesses, and the civic organizations, we can achieve even greater things than what is happening in Frisco or Fort Collins. I think we need to think as a metro, compete as a metro, not with each other. We are in constant competition with these types of cities, and we need to think big. We will all win if we all win. And now, here are some things I think we can, should work together on. We have some buildings for sale. Mid-America Steel, downtown police station, former public health building. We have parking lots downtown that could be developed. West Fargo, Dilworth, and Moorhead also have sites that people would love to have you look at. Let's look at different ways that we can develop and grow this community. Second, I'd like to look at performing arts. We can have something as nice as the Washington Pavilion in Sioux Falls, but we need to do this. This is the area of North Dakota's entertainment capital. We need to continue offering and expanding opportunities for the culture of the metro. Arts, culture, and entertainment all contribute to people choosing to live here, and we're competing against national competitors. The Performing Arts Committee is working on the study options for this design, funding, and operation of this facility. And I know, Mayor Judd, you say you want it in Moorhead, but let's figure that out. We view this as a private-public partnership, and we need to figure this one out, and this is the goal of our team this year. The FARGODOME. The FARGODOME proposed an expansion that includes 50,000 square feet of convention space. We do believe there's a need for convention space in this community, and I believe it belongs at the FARGODOME. If you combine that with the shack and the 50,000 feet, we can have a variety of different people come in our community and do their conventions. The dome is publicly owned, and we want to bolster its trajectory and not offer a competing facility. The other issue, you have to remember the FARGODOME, part of the reason we're in the black is every time we go for a championship. So that really is a nebulous thing, although many of us believe the Bison will be there every year, but we still need to have a different way out on that stuff. The other area that's going on in the community is the City Plaza and Downtown Focus. We just completed a downtown study of what's going to happen in the community. And with the City Hall complete, we want to focus on the City Plaza. That should be one of the front yard experiences downtown. It's programmed to encourage visitors throughout the region. Other area we need to talk about is Red River Valley water supply. We think that if we ever had a drought, it'd be a $25 billion catastrophe for us, so we're going to continue to work on that. I got to get to the end here now. Inspiring our future. We need to offer internships in every sector of anybody over 16 years of age, and we need more females in the STEM fields. Zoe Bundy did a presentation at economic development, and she got a standing ovation. This young teenagers talked in front of us and talked about let's get young women into the science areas. And we also need to retain the youth of this community. We have the Million Cups, we have TEDx. We need to have a community that's capable of keeping them. At NDSU, 79% of the North Dakota graduates stay here if they remain after college, but only 38% of the out-time graduates stay in this community. We're competing with Minneapolis, Chicago, Denver. Ladies and gentlemen, we're educating them, we're fostering their growth. Let's redouble our efforts to keep them here. We also support Chamber's Fueling Our Future initiative and believe the proposed Workforce Academy belongs in this metro. Now, incentives work, and I'll just go through that just to tell you how the economic growth has been within the city. Through our TIF efforts, we have seen a value of $360 million increased property value in our TIF districts, from $10 million to $374 million. We've also seen the collective property value of downtown Fargo increase by $450 million, and with Block 9, that'll go up another $100 million. Without these efforts, Fargo homeowners would be seeing a 4% increase in their property taxes to offset the growth of the city. So they do work in the rising tide throughout the community. So my last point, Greg, I'm getting there. I'm issuing a challenge today to each of my fellow members, fellow mayors, as well as every member in this audience. Let's harness the energy that we have become the EEME epicenter. That is education, entertainment, medical, and the economic epicenter of the upper Midwest. We, Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo, and Dilworth, are America's next great metro. We have the diversity, the creativity, and the economic growth. I'm excited to work with Chad and equally excited to welcome Bernie and Jonathan as this team of mayors. We, this team, partnered with each and every one of you, are going to get this done. You know what? We do great things together, but together we can do far more. Thank you.